Hi y'all, it's Irma. I'm gonna get a little lower here. Yes, that feels so great on my hips and knee joints. Whew. I am today on my checkout date of one overnight camping experience at Camp Bullfrog Lake in Willow Springs, Illinois, kind of right on the outskirts of Chicago, which is my hometown. I was feeling the need to really get out into nature and to experience the natural beauty after having spent so much time within the walls of my home, which I love and cherish, and I believe is absolutely beautiful, and also one of my creations. But the need and the urge to come out to nature was like super duper strong, and I'm really grateful. There's an amazing magical dragonfly right behind the camera. Hopefully it'll come around and say hello so you can see it. But yeah, it was absolutely strong, and I'm fortunate that within, it sounds unlikely, but within the city limits of Chicago, we have some beautiful forest preserve that the county of Cook maintains, and I have established somewhat of a collaboration and a partnership with them, and I'm spending more and more time here. So I invited a small group yesterday, and we had a nature day where we did some really beautiful activities that included going inward and recognizing and seeing parts of our own selves and building self-awareness around what each of our internal nature is all about, and whether we're living that. And we did it in the surroundings of the forest preserve, so had also a lovely reflective moments of being with nature. Like I said, today is the checkout date, so already I'm beginning to disassemble my campground, which when you prepare for events or things like this, oftentimes there's so much work that's involved, and planning and motion and movement, and then suddenly it changes. So this is an example where it's a situation where you are expecting that change to come, almost like a beautiful mandala that gets built up and then blown away into the wind. And I kind of felt that way about this little campsite, with beginning to prepare to just kind of bring it all down and pack it up and head back home. And what that brought to mind for me was how much we have been untrained to deal with endings and to deal with destruction, and to embrace that as part of our existence. We're right on the preview of the new moon, which is the time in the cycle of the moon phases where the moon goes dark and it's not seen in the sky, and then the tiny little sliver that first appears is the new moon. And the lunar cycles and the way that the moon waxes and wanes, becomes full and illuminated in the sky, and then disappears off into the darkness, is one of the most natural reminders that we have of our cyclical existence, and that everything has a beginning and an end. And it is a natural, universal part of our being. And following every ending, there's an opportunity for new beginnings, which is, with the cycles of the moon, the reason and ways that initiations can be celebrated. So leading up to that, what really helps is to release and let go of whatever toxicity, whatever stagnant energy, whatever no longer relevant, limiting, self-limiting thoughts or programmed data that we are fed. It's time to let all of that go during moments of descent and destruction. And there has been so much third chakra energy that we are stirring up and experiencing as a collective. It relates to our ego, sources of power, but also our health and immunity. And so all of those themes are like really inflared right now, and everyone is, or those who are awake at least are, and even those who are not, are responding in some kind of way to all of those different elements of the third chakra. And the third chakra is also the center of like I said, of power. And so self-empowerment can be very much ignited, cleared from programmed energy and others' authority over you and enslavement, essentially, to make space for your own self-empowerment and your own center of confidence. So in honor of an ending that is upon me right now of one beautiful night in nature and the destruction of my overnight abode and the leaving behind of all of the things that within my own self I kind of stirred up and am ready to toss away and let it be neutralized into the center of the earth. I will invite you to join in on a practice of release in the third chakra. And it's called, I think it's called like the woodcutter pose. And just like it sounds, it really just kind of calls up a whole lot of energy, as you would imagine chopping like a giant piece of wood. We had a beautiful campfire last night and some great wood. I didn't get to chop it myself, but I would imagined what that was like to just kind of like chop through the wood. And so take a standing position with your feet wider than hip distance apart. And to get a good balance, you can turn your toes to face outward and just kind of let your hips be a little bit loose and flexible. Have a little bit of a bounce in your knees so that you're not locking the knees, but keeping them buoyant. And as you inhale, we'll do a couple of deep breaths just to kind of get the prana life force moving, the clearing life force moving. So take a deep inhale, and as you inhale, bend at the knees and inhale, lift the arms up. And exhale, lower the arms down. You can exhale through the nose, or in this pose, try exhaling through the mouth and make the exhales even more powerful. Exhales are a form of releasing toxins. Inhale, breathe in your life force. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. This time we're going to make the exhale a little bit more forceful. As you, on the inhale, bring your fingers to touch, point your fingers at the top, and exhale with a strong strike down to the ground as if you were chopping wood. Inhale, arms up. Repeat. Inhale. Two more times. Let everything just kind of hang and spill out that is ready to go. No more toxins in our world. No more toxins in our world. What that means is, as each of us clears the toxins within our own self, we then become a pure element to add into the collective world. And we become the purifiers. So imagine that that little exercise that you just did is a small first step in clearing all of the toxicity that we're currently experiencing in our world. Isn't that an empowering, magical as fuck, powerful notion or thought? Well, you have that ability within you. Thank you for joining me from Camp Bullfrog Lake in Willow Springs, Illinois. I will do a panoramic so that you can get to enjoy the 4 directions of the place that I'm going to need to do it this way just so that I could see what I'm showing you. Just so that you could see the 4 directions of the place where I spent one magical night with some amazing womb sisters. I hope that you also noticed and got a minute to enjoy the silence. Ciao, my loves. The buttons to subscribe to my channel or to watch a playlist of previous exercises and videos from me from all around the world are going to pop up on the video here. I hope that I scratched the hope. I will see you again soon. Ciao.